Welcome, leaders and innovators. Today, we are exploring the transformative power of Microsoft's AI apps and services. Our goal is to move beyond the hype and provide you with a practical, strategic understanding of how to drive real business impact using these intelligent tools. Let's get started. Hello everyone and welcome. Let's start with the what. What exactly is Microsoft's AI ecosystem? At its core, we are looking at a paradigm shift from traditional AI, which focused on predicting and classifying, to generative AI, which creates entirely new content like text, code, and insights. Microsoft structures this into two main opportunities for your business: buy or build. You can buy ready-to-use software as a service solutions like Microsoft 365 Copilot to instantly empower your workforce. Or you can build custom solutions using Azure AI and Microsoft Foundry for highly specific, domain-level challenges. Why does this matter? Because adopting the right AI capability accelerates time to value, reduces the cost to serve, and keeps your organization competitive. How do you start? By understanding this landscape and aligning these AI tools directly with your strategic business outcomes. Let's look at the diagram on your screen. At the top, we have the Microsoft AI ecosystem, which splits into two strategic paths: buy a Copilot and build a Copilot. On the left, the buy path leads to Microsoft 365 Copilot and Dynamics 365 Copilot. These are your turnkey SaaS solutions, ready to assist your employees in the apps they use every day. On the right, the build path leads to Azure AI Foundry and Copilot Studio. This is your platform as a service route, giving developers and makers the tools to orchestrate custom models, integrate enterprise data, and build bespoke AI agents. Understanding this split is critical. It helps you decide when to deploy rapid, pre-built productivity tools versus when to invest in custom engineering for unique operational challenges. Now, let's discuss the why. Why are organizations investing heavily in these AI services? We categorize the benefits into three core pillars: productivity, decision quality, and governance. First, productivity. Copilot automates routine, repetitive tasks like drafting emails or summarizing meetings, giving employees time back for strategic work. Research shows generative AI can automate nearly 60% of tasks requiring expertise. Second, decision quality. AI tools rapidly analyze massive datasets, uncovering trends and insights that humans might miss, leading to faster, data-driven decisions. Third, and perhaps most importantly, is governance. Microsoft's AI solutions are built on enterprise-grade compliance. Your data remains your data. It is not used to train foundational models without your permission. This means you can innovate securely, knowing your privacy and regulatory boundaries are respected by design. This flowchart visualizes the direct line from AI adoption to return on investment. When you adopt Microsoft AI, the impact branches into our three pillars. The top path shows how boosting productivity directly leads to the automation of routine tasks. The middle path shows how improving decision quality translates into actionable, data-driven insights. The bottom path ensures that all of this rests on a foundation of strengthened governance and enterprise compliance. Notice how all three of these outcomes converge on the final node: ROI and growth. You cannot achieve sustainable growth with AI if you only focus on productivity. You must balance speed with security and high-quality insights. This balanced approach is what turns AI from an experimental sandbox into a dependable driver of business value. Moving to the how do these capabilities manifest in daily work, let's explore Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is where AI meets your employees in the apps they already use. In Word, Copilot conquers the blank page syndrome by drafting proposals based on your prompts and existing files. In Excel, it acts as a data analyst, instantly identifying trends, building scenario models, and generating visualizations without requiring complex formula knowledge. In Teams, it is a game-changer for meeting hygiene, summarizing discussions in real time, capturing action items, and ensuring alignment. In Outlook, it triages long email threads, drafting context-aware replies. When do you use this? Every day. Copilot shifts the human role from content creator from scratch to content editor and strategist. It accelerates workflows and ensures consistent brand messaging across the entire department. Looking at this diagram, you see the information worker at the center of the experience, seamlessly connected to the Microsoft 365 Copilot engine. Rather than jumping between different external AI tools, the Copilot engine branches out directly into the applications they use daily. You see the specific capabilities mapped to each app, drafting and refining in Word, analyzing and visualizing data in Excel, recapping and assigning actions in Teams, and summarizing threads in Outlook. This visual emphasizes that Copilot is not a separate destination, it is an embedded intelligence layer. It orchestrates the work across these silos, creating a unified, AI-powered productivity suite that amplifies human capability without forcing users to learn entirely new software ecosystems. Let's take a deep dive into the underlying mechanics. How does Copilot know your specific business context? This brings us to the crucial concept of grounding and the Microsoft Graph. Generative AI models are trained on public data, which means they don't inherently know your company's internal policies or current projects. Grounding is the process of retrieving your specific organizational data to augment the AI's prompt-A technique known as Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. Copilot uses the Microsoft Graph as the gateway to your emails, files, and chats. When an employee asks a question, Copilot searches the graph, retrieves relevant, authorized enterprise data, and feeds that highly specific context to the large language model. Why is this critical? Because it ensures the AI's responses are accurate, relevant, and secure. Copilot strictly honors existing identity-based access controls. It cannot surface data that the user doesn't already have permission to see. This flowchart breaks down the architecture of a Copilot interaction. It starts at the top with the user prompt. Before that prompt ever reaches the AI model, it passes through the Microsoft Graph highlighted here as the critical security and context layer. The graph performs grounding, or RAG, fetching user-accessible files, emails, and chats. This combined package of the original prompt plus the retrieved enterprise data is then sent securely to the Azure OpenAI large language model. Finally, the LLM processes this enriched prompt to deliver a contextual and secure response. This architecture visually demonstrates that the AI model acts as a reasoning engine, while the Microsoft Graph acts as the secure, proprietary knowledge base, ensuring compliance across tenant boundaries. Beyond basic assistance, we have Copilot agents. What are agents? They are intelligent, task-oriented AI entities that can autonomously perform actions and orchestrate workflows. While standard Copilot helps you write, an agent acts as a specialized digital teammate. For example, the pre-built researcher agent specializes in deep discovery and synthesis. It can dive into internal archives and trusted web sources to compile comprehensive market intelligence reports, saving hours of manual data gathering. The analyst agent functions like a data scientist, using chain-of-thought reasoning to interpret complex datasets and generate high-quality operational insights. These agents are designed for complex, multi-step scenarios where you need the AI to take action on your behalf. By deploying agents, you are not just accelerating personal productivity, you are fundamentally reshaping business processes and driving functional transformation. Here we see the orchestration of AI agents. The user request comes into the Copilot orchestrator, which acts as the intelligent router. Based on the complexity of the task, the orchestrator delegates to specialized agents. If the task requires deep information gathering, it routes to the researcher agent, which synthesizes enterprise and web knowledge. If the task requires mathematical or trend analysis, it routes to the analyst agent, which handles data modeling. Both specialized pathways converge on a single strategic business output for the user. This diagram illustrates that you aren't just relying on one generic AI model, you are utilizing an ecosystem of specialized, task-oriented digital workers that collaborate to execute high-value, complex business functions. What happens when your business needs go beyond out-of-the-box solutions? This is where Microsoft Copilot Studio comes in. Copilot Studio is a low-code platform that allows you to extend Microsoft 365 Copilot or build your own custom agents from scratch. Why do you need this? Because every enterprise relies on external SaaS applications, CRMs, or legacy databases that sit outside the Microsoft ecosystem. With Copilot Studio, you can use Power Platform connectors or the Model Context Protocol to bridge that gap. You can build an agent that integrates directly with ServiceNow for IT ticketing or Salesforce for customer data. How does it work? Makers use a visual, natural language interface to define the agent's instructions, triggers, and external knowledge sources. This democratization of AI development empowers your subject matter experts to build highly tailored solutions without waiting on long IT development cycles. This diagram maps the dual capabilities of Copilot Studio. On the left, we start with the Studio platform itself, which diverges into two main actions, building custom agents and extending Microsoft 365 Copilot. When building custom agents, you can connect external APIs like your proprietary inventory system or third-party HR software. When extending M365 Copilot, you can add enterprise plugins and tools directly into the daily chat interface your employees use. Both of these paths merge into a unified custom AI solution. This visual underscores that Copilot Studio is the essential bridge between Microsoft's powerful AI models and your highly specific, customized business architecture, ensuring your AI can take action in any system your company utilizes. For the most advanced, highly specialized AI needs, we turn to Azure AI Foundry. When do you use this? You move to Azure AI when you need absolute control over the model, the data infrastructure, and the application architecture. Azure AI provides pre-built cognitive services like Azure Vision for analyzing images, Azure Language for multilingual sentiment analysis, and Document Intelligence for extracting structured data from complex forms like invoices or medical records. Furthermore, Azure AI Foundry allows your pro developers to fine-tune open-source or proprietary models, build complex retrieval-augmented generation pipelines from the ground up, and implement strict, customized content safety filters. This is the build side of the ecosystem at its most powerful, giving you the scalable, compliant infrastructure needed to create differentiating, AI-first applications that can transform entire industries. This flowchart illustrates the robust architecture of Azure AI Foundry. From the central Foundry hub, developers can choose between pre-built services and custom models. Under pre-built services, we highlight Azure Vision, Language, and Document Intelligence tools that rapidly inject cognitive abilities into your apps without training models from scratch. Under custom models, we highlight fine-tuning and advanced RAG pipelines for scenarios requiring deep, proprietary data reasoning. All these discrete capabilities funnel down into the deployment of a highly secure, scalable enterprise AI app. The diagram makes it clear that Azure AI Foundry is a comprehensive toolkit, allowing technical teams to mix and match cognitive services and custom models to architect exactly what the business requires at the highest level of scale. To synthesize everything we've covered, let's look at a real-world use case that demonstrates these capabilities working together. Imagine a global insurance company facing massive backlogs in claims processing. Using Azure Document Intelligence, they automate the extraction of data from thousands of varied, handwritten claim forms and medical receipts. This structured data is fed into a custom agent built in Copilot Studio, which cross-references the claim against the customer's policy details stored in a proprietary legacy database. Finally, the claims adjuster uses Microsoft 365 Copilot in Word to instantly generate a personalized, compliant approval letter and summary for the customer. By orchestrating these AI tools, the company reduces manual data entry by 80%, accelerates claim resolution from weeks to days, and dramatically improves customer satisfaction, all while maintaining strict regulatory compliance. This is the true business value of Microsoft's AI ecosystem. Let's walk through this sequence diagram to see the real-world workflow in action. We start on the left with the customer claim, consisting of unstructured, complex forms. These are ingested by Azure Document Intelligence, which automatically extracts the critical structured data. This data then flows to our custom Copilot Studio agent, which securely validates the information against the company's internal, proprietary policy databases. Once validated, the agent passes the context directly to Microsoft 365 Copilot inside Word, where a human adjuster reviews the AI-drafted final approval letter. This visualizes a seamless, end-to-end AI pipeline. It demonstrates how Azure AI, Copilot Studio, and Microsoft 365 Copilot interlock to automate a highly complex, labor-intensive process, keeping a human in the loop for final approval and compliance.